you. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Auto Talk, episode 2. And, you know, it's been 2 episodes, and already Kevin can't make it, apparently. I tried to contact him, but he didn't say anything. So we've got a new guest here. Say hi, Mylo.
Hello, everyone. It's good to be back.
Yeah,
How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. Currently, the Phillies have the bases loaded, so I have that stream up on my phone with it muted, so nobody can hear. But if you hear me freak out, oop, we just walked in a run. Cool. So
Nice.
I'll try not to talk about real baseball too much because that's lame. But yeah, we're just gonna be talking about some fake baseball hangout. This might be a little more chill than usual, but yeah, we're gonna do our best, and hopefully Milo will offer some cool shit. I mean, we did a live game together, so I mean, if
Yeah,
we had to endure like 3 hours of just sort of like winging a whole entire game, so I think that forged a pretty close bond, don't you think?
absolutely. I remember like in the middle of it, like the fourth inning or something, we just completely ran out of material, and I started listing off like real NBA scores, and it was
It was we did
fun.
not expect that to be that hard. We keep talking about doing another one, but I just like it might not be a good
If
idea.
we if we move the auto timer to like 5 minutes, it might be doable,
Yeah, oh yeah, you're right.
realistic, but ugh.
In, it has to be like the most. We probably would have to. I don't know. There have been talks about like having it so that there's one game per session. That's like a prime time game that we would do that with. But like I feel like that would only really work if it were legitimately two teams that were sign-ups of just like the most active players possible, just like pulled together.
Yeah, and I feel like that would almost have to be hosted in Discord, but we're kind of getting off topic. I'm sorry.
It's no, it's totally fine. I mean, we usually start off the thing. We actually have a little talk screen, but the problem is it says Kev on everything, so I just have like I typed out Mylo, and basically I'm just gonna have to move it every single time. It slideshows to a different picture, so I'd move your name over Kev's name, which is
We'll
probably
have all three of us, and I'll just have to Photoshop a picture of myself.
I could just like yeah, put you in the corner maybe. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'll have to see if there are pictures of 3 people talking. If Kev comes on the next time, and then we still have you, we'll see. We can just go right into games if you want, though. Do you have anything like you want to talk about that just in general? Uh,
No, I don't think so. I think fake baseball is alive and well, so all things are good.
yeah, exactly. I feel like this is. I don't know. I feel like it's been very, very good recently, just with activity and just like I mean, like I think a few sessions ago, uh, we had like every game but one finish on time, which was the first time I think since season 1 that that's happened. So yeah, it has been very
Mm.
good. It's been alive and well. But let's go to some games, I guess. We can sort of talk about some. I mean, I know you and I sort of had a certain game this session that I would rather not discuss, but maybe we should. What do you think? You want
Maybe.
to talk
Well,
about that?
I talk about Hayden Werfer. We obviously had some good offense, but it wasn't you guys just not having offense. Hayden is an incredible pitcher,
He
and
is.
he is in. If we end up talking in some segment of the best midseason pickup, he is definitely in the conversation because he's now giving up 1 run, doing pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people would also agree. Like, not only is he a good pitcher, but also he's a relatively new pitcher. So like when you're going up against a new pitcher, it's really hard to scout that. So it's like we had that. Then plus he's like I could just like tell because he was on Yak Ball for the short period that existed, and like he was very numbers minded and he was very just good at that sort of thing. So you could I could sort of tell this guy would be very difficult to bat against, and then plus he's new, so he didn't have much to scout. It was a tough game to bat for, but yeah, I mean, kind of got our asses
I
handed
would
to us.
be I'd be very worried if I had ever had to face him. So honestly, getting if I was betting 100 off of him myself, I'd be pretty proud of that because he's big mind. But that's really all I have to say about that. Blue Jays had decent offense, which was good. Are picking up steam. So
Yeah, exactly.
the playoff hunt, aren't you?
Us or
Right there, half game back.
yeah, technically. If the Expos won this, we'd probably be fucked. But at least like for the division. But the Expos lost, so it gave us a little bit of a sliver. This game didn't really affect us too much. But we have been kind of having a rough patch ourselves, I would say, because we had that game against the Cubs last session where we were up 5-0, I think, or 5-1, and then we
Mm.
just kind of fucking blew it, and that was really tough for my guys to swallow. But we're waiting for this this All Star game break to end once it actually starts, and we just want to get out there and play more games. Do you have
Good
any
little
other?
refresh. So
Yeah, exactly. Do you? What are some other good games? I mean, we just mentioned the Expos. I feel like they had a very good game.
I am now power rankings minded ever since being added to that. And I still don't know why the Giants aren't considered the best team in the league because they lost to you last, so obviously they have to be really putting you guys on a pedestal. But they have not lost um, 2019 because they already were playing you. Since 2019 started, they haven't lost,
Oh wow!
which
And
is
it
pretty
seemed
good.
I remember like in the beginning of the season they had like a lot of offensive troubles, but it seems to have gone away recently. I mean, I
Mm.
haven't seen their recent score. I mean, they had a 6-4 win against the Mets, and currently, who are they playing?
They just finished playing Oakland and won 1-0.
Oh, well, that's like the sort of score I'm sort of used to from them from their great ace pitching, which is probably. Well, I'm not going to talk too much about how I would rank them because I will be letting out some rankings soon. But yeah, it's a they definitely have a very very good pitching staff, even if it's only a 1-2 punch. I mean, that's all they really need. I mean, Vader and Peters just got that shutout. But yeah, against the team that team like it's I would definitely not barrage somebody for making them number one. I do think though that I still like Kansas City a lot. Who are they
Yeah.
versing? I'm pretty sure they had like a pretty good game this session, right? Yeah,
Yeah, they
they won.
faced Milwaukee, and they're about to win if they didn't win
They already
already.
won. Yeah, 7-1 against the Brewers after what like 16-4, I think it was.
Jesus,
I'm
it's
sorry.
like
I like the Giants, but I think Royals are better.
offense is really tough to put up big numbers, and the Royals have done that.
And I mean,
Hasn't it been? Yeah, they put up 7+ runs in 3 straight games, which I'm
exactly.
fairly certain has never happened.
Uh,
Extra innings to do that.
I mean, you are like a little bit more. You have sort of surpassed me in the historian role after taking over fake baseball game, the games section. Yeah, they have a pretty decent rotation too. Definitely not Giants decent, but I mean they have a Wampus who has like under a 2.5 ERA, and they have Aru who's been pretty good. McLeod's sort of been struggling, but even if he's been pretty serviceable, I feel like a lot of teams would consider him their ace. Yeah, this team has been absolutely slugging recently. They just finished up slugging against the Brewers, who admittedly are not the most premier team, despite what Kev would tell you. But I would probably say them over the Giants. Good thing that isn't our make a case topic, but
Yeah. Ooh. One random other one that I do want to bring up is that the Padres are currently winning the
oh
two in the
really?
bottom of the sixth, and this is the ideal situation for the Padres to lose. Like they have a 1-run lead. There's a runner on first. Give up a walk-off home run, and I feel bad that I'm saying that, but that's happened so much now.
If
Almost.
I were the, I mean, I guess I wouldn't, but like I just coming from like a neutral perspective, I just feel like a 2-14 season is just bad, and like at that point, I would rather have them get a 0-16 because that's just like beyond bad. That's like memorably bad. That's like a season that's special in its own right. Like it wouldn't be special if they just got like a few games in there. So like I kind of do want them to lose, but uh,
Yeah, I
who are they going up
are
against?
they're playing the Diamondbacks.
Oh, the Diamondbacks. Ooh, they've been sinking. I mean, I think the Diamondbacks are just. I remember they started out pretty well, but I think they just have that sort of. They just struggle to leg it out until the end of the season.
Well, they got moved to the AL. That was the issue. Caught up to them. Designated hitters are not ready for it.
Sit down. You might want to
So,
might want to sit down for
yeah,
that. um, yeah. I mean, I don't. I just remember them being. They were over 500 for a little while there, but yeah, they've been slipping recently, I think. And yeah, I mean, if there are any team to probably get that upset against, it probably would be the Diamondbacks. I'm trying to find this game, but I can't seem to locate it when I'm going down the subreddit, so I have to control F this shit. Yeah. But even if I mean,
they.
the Diamondbacks usually have a lot of sluggers, don't they? So I feel like they could come back.
I mean, they're one or they have 2 runs.
Yeah, only 2 runs. Yeah, they currently have Wally's a pitcher. Oh wow, it's been a while.
I don't know. I think honestly, if the Padres were to win any of their last 5 games, but knowing the Padres and Graham just put it so beautifully, their God-given ability to lose winnable games is off the charts.
Yeah, I feel like
And lost.
we
They haven't
look
lost by more than 2 runs since like it's crazy.
since when? Sorry, you kind of cut out there.
Since like 2019 started, they haven't lost by more than 2 runs.
I like your sort of gauge
I
to compare everything to when
well,
2019 started.
I only knew that because of next to them in the team little stats. I was like, oh, that's the same spot. So
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I mean, we looked through that last time, Kevin and I, and it was all 1 run losses, and that was really tough. I did want to go over the Expos and Tampa though, because I know Tampa was struggling a little bit, just a teeny bit there. And I picked them to be the team to collapse, but here they are against the Expos, and they ended up. It was a lot of traded blows, but ended up being Tampa on top. What do you think about that?
is they had a tough schedule these last few games. I mean, they played looking up their list. They played Boston, who's really hot right now. Well, somewhat hot right now. Pretty underrated for me. Um, or top of the league, second. They played the Angels, played the Red Sox before that. They played the Royals before that. Played the Yankees in the middle of the Yankees good stretch schedule and still churned out wins during it. So then I would say,
Yeah,
and are still churning out wins.
yeah. Also, like at a time, I probably would have said the Expos are the best team in the league. This might hurt it definitely. I agree though. I mean, it wasn't that much of a blowout win either against the Red Sox. I mean, I know that was sort of my rhetoric to sort of be like, oh well, there. I was trying to turn the rhetoric against them, but I do admit that that wasn't a very uh, giant win for the Red Sox. But yeah, I did feel like that was just like a bad streak, and that was kind of it. And they could probably get back into this. But yeah, I mean, I would have picked the Expos to win this, and I mean, like I said, they were trading blows. Montreal went on the board first with a double in the top of the second, and just it seemed like every single time Montreal would score a run, just at the bottom of that same inning, it'd be Tampa right back into it to tie it. And I think that there's a lot of moxie in that, and I think they definitely deserve their win. Do you know who they're gonna go up against next? Tampa.
Tampa faces go um next.
Who was
A
that?
little lower
So
on. Ooh, is up next. Sorry, am I cutting out again?
yeah, a little bit. Houston.
Houston, yep.
Okay.
Um,
Who, by the way, are currently they just gave up a 2 run home run after taking the lead, and they're now down again.
yep. On Houston is skidding. They started out 3 for 4 or 3-4, and they haven't won since.
It's
Not looking good.
it's kind of a theme for them a lot of times, and I think they always are sort of playing under their potential. But we'll talk about stuff like that. We'll talk about that later. Um, are there any other
Absolutely.
games that are interesting for you here? I mean, I guess we
I
could
think most
talk
of the
about.
rest are straightforward, but
I think we could also like sort of dabble in the All Star game because I mean we know that the All Star game's coming up after this session, and we know that the announcements for voting are going to come up with, I think, tomorrow. So we'll have probably a live stream then to talk about it. I'll see if Athen wants to live stream it on this channel, which we're streaming on right now, the Fake Baseball Media channel, trying to get that up and running really well. But I mean, yeah, this is an exciting time. Who do you think are lock-ins, I guess, for All
I
Star
mean,
positions?
you look at stat leaderboards. Sam Smith, he had an article written about him at the beginning of the year. He's going to be there. Um, and Tyler are destroying. Like they are littering the stat leaderboards. Um, Somewhat of a surprise to me, but the Dodgers hitters, Scotty Smalls, Ted James the third, as we talked about last week, all those thirds, they are tearing it up too. Um, Really, if you're on the top five leaderboard, you're going to end up as a lock. But I feel like for research, especially for a podcast, and I want to find people who are not at the top of those leaderboards. Um,
Well, I would like to bring up my man's Jackson Takeki, who I think had a pretty bad game against Toronto, but overall he has been one of the best right fielders out there. So I do hope he gets that nod. I mean, I think isn't it right that every single team at least gets one?
I'm not sure if they approve that, but he definitely should be. He should be there regardless. But
Yeah, I hope
going to
so.
be a Philly rep.
It's
But
because I know we've had. I mean, we do have the two championships, but also we've never really had that sort of like breakout. Like you look at that guy and you're like, oh, he's an MVP candidate. I mean, we had Joel Embiid get the Silver Slugger at pitcher last year, but because he had like a few hits in his like five at bats. Um, yeah, we'll have to see
mm,
tomorrow. That'll be very fun to watch if you guys have some time. Make sure to watch Caleb Athens live stream when he announces that All Star game. Those All Star game rosters, and it should be a lot of fun.
I
Uh,
want to bring up one other player. Emmer Bach is always batting above 400. Like last year, I'd have to look it up, but last year I swear he was like 450 at the end of the year. So he's in terms of or 405 at the end of the year. Sorry, not that good. He's always good, so he should end up at the top of the game again because he's consistently good.
yeah, I
Although I
agree.
hate complimenting anything that Jimmy Johns does, he did a good job of bringing up Emmerbach.
I mean, yeah, Bach's been up there for a while and has always sort of been in that running for best first baseman in the National League. Except we don't really talk about him because I think there's a lot of sort of bias towards the guys who are more active on the sub or on the Discord, and he isn't really active on that Discord. But I mean, there's no denying it that yeah, definitely he's one of the best out there, one of the best first basemen, if not one of the best players in the National League. So yeah, definitely deserving there. And yeah, we don't talk about him a lot. So get your votes in for Emmer Bach.
Yeah, not for Gare though. Gare sucks.
I mean, what is he doing right now? What is he batting? Oh, that's that.
250.
Very average, especially for this league at this like sort of a junction.
I think he's leading the league in walks though, something like that. Oh, he's tied for third, but 11 other players have 6 walks, so not that impressive. Try again, Gare.
All right, you want to move on to make a case? All right, so we're gonna be talking this time the best teams under 500 right now, and I usually let the other person start. So if you want to go ahead, Mylo.
All right. Well, you have probably seen from my power rankings all the time uh, the team that I am always ranking way higher than the others, and they haven't won yet this session, so I have to go with the St. Louis Cardinals. Everyone always rags on them for I think they autoed a bunch at the beginning of the year, but they won 5 of their last 6 games. Like the best team right now under 500. It's They are tearing it up. They just hit a home run to take the lead in their current game. And actually, that if they win and Chicago loses, which I'm up in that game, they'll be tied for the lead in the NL Central. So they're super good right now, and they are hot at the right time. Everything is pointing towards them making this magical run, and nobody wants to acknowledge it. So St. Louis, you're on. I see you out there. You're the best under 500 team.
Actually, I actually picked first, and I completely forgot about them, and I probably should have picked them. I mean, actually, I'm right. Okay, so I would say the Houston Astros are the best team under 500. Now, you might be looking at their little choke here. Number one, that's pretty recent, so but it's still plenty of game left, so they could probably get back into there. But when I look at that roster and I just like see the names that are on there, it's just so surprising to me that they don't have more success than they do. I mean, we have the classic pitcher Willoughby Hughes. We have guys like Bambino Jr. We have guys like Kevin Ariana who just joined up with that team. Actually, both of those guys just joined up with that team. We have Luop hitting well over, or not well over, but over 350. It's just, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot more names on there that are very good, and they should be doing much better. Also, Bon Giovanni, who's been on that team for a while, he switched the pitcher and he's been pretty serviceable with a 3.33 ERA. I just feel like, I don't know, like with games like they're having right now where they took the lead and now they're losing the lead again. It's just it's tough to I don't know. They seem to be having a tough stretch here, and I think that they definitely could be doing a lot better. And I think they could still do a lot better with the games that they have. I don't know if they'll finish over 500, but they definitely need to start sort of forging a winning attitude and a winning ball club that I feel like they are very capable of doing. And with these names, especially like I said, Kevin Ariana coming back in, he's always been a pretty decent hitter. I mean, he got one hit in his current three recorded plate appearances. I believe in my man's Kevin. And yeah, I think never say never say under 500 for them. I feel like they could get over that hump. If not this season, then definitely next season. Though I did forget about St. Louis when I was making my choice, so that's kind of unfortunate. But if you think that if you are a Houston player, then choose me. If you, I guess, okay. What I need you guys to do if you're listening to this, just DM Kevin who you think is the best team, who you think won, either the Astros or the Cardinals, and he'll definitely compile them and tell me what the audience thinks. So okay, then we'll go on to random bullshit. Like I said, I think earlier, though, this might be a little bit of a shorter one. We're just kind of chilling here, and yeah, we're just gonna because we were supposed to have Kevin on, and now there's only two people instead of three people, but we're gonna make the most of it. So this topic here for random bullshit is gonna be session 2 games in honor of episode 2. We're just gonna kind of look through session 2 games live and try to find what the better games are in specifically session 2, not just session 2 of this season, but session 2 of all the seasons past, all three of them. So I just searched session 2. Do you have one that you found already, Mylo?
One game that I really appreciated, just because it sparked a sort of mini rivalry between that I know, was Toronto and Pittsburgh that first season, because they played again in session 3 immediately afterward. That was at peak time of like Twitter shit talking. And so that was right when they were getting at each other, and that was like the most active accounts. So really enjoyed that one. Um,
Well, I like to bring
session
up
two one.
I'd like to bring up one too while you're I guess you're looking for another one, but I mean, if we're talking about games that we personally been a part of, I would like to bring up the Phillies versus Brewers season 2 session 2, also known as the Rise of Dan Jerzone, who I will call him
Oh,
that posthumously. Rip in peace. Uh, yeah, I this is the first game of many for a guy who at the time was not really well known. We were like, this is just some lowly rookie on a struggling team. This will be easy. But he actually jump started a quick sort of renaissance for the Brewers when they were just starting to be known as the Brewers. I think this is the game before the Sadness Bowl, or one or a little bit before that. But yeah, Dan Jerzone pitched. He won that game for the Brewers 3-2, and yeah, he just jump started a pretty fantastic career and probably one of the better stories of season 2.
One I'm looking at season two, baseball reference because it extends to session two of that season. Um, Rangers Astros, the first ever Texas Bowl, I guess if we're calling them all bowls. Um, that that was an exciting game. Comeback late. That was the all these I have to be related to, and I feel bad saying them, but that was the Atov had a chance to hit a home run and win the game at the end. Um, and I remixed the entire Casey at the Bat poem for the final out. I was so proud of that one. I was so young and full of creativity, and now I just say the direct result of what happens.
Yeah, that's
That was a that was a crazy game. I really loved umping that one too because that was really close the whole time. We saw Barney Summers go 2 for 2. What a surprise!
oh man, Barney. I miss when he was like one of the most dominant players in the league.
That was Three Fingers' first win.
Oh yeah, Cy
So
Young award winning Three Fingers.
he's
Uh,
just too good.
yeah, I'd like to go all the way back. I mean, all the way back to Session 2 Nationals versus Diamondbacks. This is when we didn't even have player names. We just went off of Reddit usernames.
Yes.
And you were actually a part of this one. I'm trying to. It's not extending right now because my computer sucks. But I guess I can talk with memory so far because I mean, I'm picking this one for a reason. This is sort of when because we know that the Nationals in Session 1 of that first ever season they went up against the Mets. They scored 5 runs in the first inning. So it kind of solidified them there as really good team. But yeah, in this game they sort of showed that that was not a fluke, and they just absolutely scored upon the Diamondbacks. God, my freaking internet's so slow. Yeah, this here we go. Yeah, it was an 8-5 win with 3 runs in the first and then 4 more runs in the fourth. I mean, this showed that the Nationals were the early Goliath in this league. Yeah, how did I want to see how you did? You went 2 for 3
Yeah, I
with
was
an RBI.
triple. I remember like during that game I was like walking around wherever I was working at the time, down in Indiana. I remember like guys like, hey, which at that point scouting was what do you think the pitch will be? I had an idea and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna swing this. Like first inning, I think we had one out. Not have been any outs in that. I think it was just a leadoff. Yeah, it was a leadoff walk or a single, leadoff single, and then I tripled, and then Larry Wayne hit a home run behind me. Nothing before he had an out in that game, and it was like, geez, this is easier than we thought, or we just happened to be really lucky. And guess it was the second one, but yeah,
I mean, you guys did really well in that first season, and definitely kind of waned in the second season before
yeah,
the team folded. But I think you
oof.
guys had four. You were 4-0 to start the season, I think, right?
Yeah.
And
Um,
we ended up tying, and then there was that controversial rock paper scissors, I think it was, or it was like a home run derby. I
paper
mean,
scissors, if I recall.
it was actually I think it was like yeah, it was formerly a home run derby because and Pi was officiating it before he was a Philly, and it actually spawns because I think because we were tied like he got the first or I got the first one, he got the second one, so it was like best 2 out of 3, and so it all came down to that last one, and I did 738 and I got it, and then that became the sacred number
Oh,
of the
yes.
Phillies.
Oh,
And we just like swing that whenever we want a meme. But yeah, that's why I remember it being a home run derby. But actually, I there was a big argument about who was going to get that National League pennant, and I kind of gave up on it. I was like, okay, the Nationals are going to like I'll just give it to the Nationals, whatever. And then Jonesy, being a really cool guy about it, he just brought me into a channel, and he was like, okay, let's just settle this with a home run derby. And I was like, all right, let's do it.
I know. I think so. What was really cool, I went back after I was done with all the season one stuff. I went back and looked at the run differentials of both teams, and I was like, wait a minute, we were up by a run, but
You
then I found
were?
out at the end, like I added wrong, and
Oh.
we were down by a run by run differential.
Oh, really?
Scored like 11 more runs, but we gave up 12 more. It was like, geez, God, this
Damn. Okay, well,
Ridiculous.
I don't feel so bad anymore that we were up by that one run. Uh, and also, I'd like to add,
It was
I'd like to add real quick that the Nationals pitcher actually for this game was Pops, which is
yep.
kind of funny. This is a really good game, actually.
Like at the very end. That was I think this is the first game that had a sub pitcher because I don't think any of the first session games had a sub.
Oh yeah. Oh,
It's
interesting. You're right.
kind of odd.
Yeah,
They
and
just
that was
it's
actually
like emulating true MLB where everyone. Oh no, there was a sub in the first game.
who was it?
Tiberius Jr. was closing up for Atlanta.
Oh, Tiberius Jr. I can't talk about him on this podcast. You know it.
Cool.
I can't talk about him on
Oh
podcasts.
yeah,
Um,
not Tiberius though. That's Junior. Remember?
man, I'm looking through
Oh,
this game
I
now.
can't remember.
This is the time where I would comment on every single person on the top of every single game, reply to this post with any comments or opinions before we just said fuck it, and then just people like reply to like the whenever they need to. I mean, this is the Phillies have always been kind of well, not really because we won this season, but session two. I mean, we lost against the Royals in season one. Season one was fun. I missed season one.
Yeah, that was just a day. I'm sorry, I just totally stuttered for like 2 minutes. But the back in my day real statement is that back in my day, we had the pitchers give the results of the at bats.
Ah, dude, Pi did that. Oh my god,
Yeah,
yeah. That
it was,
last.
it was so funny, is because Pi was like talking, oh yeah, we're perfect games, and I'm gonna throw 6 no hitters. And the first inning, he was just responding to all the results like, my soul has left my body, and it was just so funny. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
that's like our. That's like how in real MLB they didn't throw overhand until like 10 years later. It's like our little thing. Like the pitchers used to do their own results until the umpires were just like, "Fuck it, you're taking too long. We're gonna do our own
Yeah.
thing here." Like the umpires were entirely intended to just be like background characters, just sort of like watching shit unfold. But we were just like, nah.
Yeah, making sure people weren't cheating.
Yeah. Uh,
It's just
I'm looking through any more games to
fun
make
little
sure.
thing.
Are there any fun? Did we go into this season? I forget.
We had a few. I almost thought the Tampa Bay Cleveland game, but that was session 3. So rest in peace there.
Brewers Padres. This is when the Brewers beat them 9-0 to get
Oof,
to 500 on the season. Well, session two, but you know, and they just kind of
still
fell from
counts.
there. They're a lot like the Padres. I would give credit that they have had a lot of one run games, and that's pretty. It's frustrating, I would imagine. All right, well, I guess that's it. We can go into last thoughts if you don't have anything else to say.
Hmm. Well, oh man, I want to look up more season 2 games. This is pretty fun.
All right, yeah, let's do it. Fuck it, whatever. I have just like I just searched session two. Oh, just season two games or session two.
We should. Why not look up this season?
Just session two games from this season. Yeah, sure.
We kind of cover the last two and then reminisced about like 2 years ago. I will admit too, like playing that first year, I wasn't playing baseball at the time, and I think that like that first season was like, man, I want to get back into real baseball too, so I can do that simultaneously. Because
Yeah, you're in a
and it
good league,
was
aren't you? Let me see.
okay.
I mean, this is also the session. There are a lot of teams that like early on sort of cemented themselves as possible good teams this year. I like the Brewers, like I said, and also the Dodgers beat the Expos, who are one of the best teams in the league now. They beat them 6-3. I remember I wrote an article that was like, "Can the Dodgers keep it up?" And I guess the short answer was no.
Yeah. Oh man, if we did another one on the best team above 500, that is, or the worst team above 500, it would find the Dodgers.
Are they over 500?
I think they're 6-5. Let me see. Just kidding. They're 4-7. I'm an
Oh,
idiot.
dude. I think they're 4-8 now. I think the Angels beat them.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. They just ended that
Oh,
on a walk off.
you made me think I was crazy for a second there. I was like, wait, what? What the fuck? Here's Miami. They were 2-0. I think they were like 4-0 to start the season. They beat the
Yeah, they
Giants, who you consider to be very good now, and I mean I do too. Held them to one hit. And that was Pterodactyl before. I mean, Pterodactyl had that disaster for the Yankees against the Royals.
yeah. Who else nominated? Lots of shutouts here. 5 of them.
Power rankings post session two. I kind of look at that right now. Yeah, Tampa Bay was ahead. Wow, Oakland was number two. I feel like people nowadays really do not give Oakland the credit they deserve because they're still like a very they're up there, except like they're usually ranked way lower than I guess you would expect them to be. But yeah, they were number two in session two. Brewers went up.
Now,
No, session two they're number two. I don't know what they are now.
let me see. I'll open up the current ones,
Made by a
which is
certain
still
Toronto catcher.
don't tell don't tell anyone.
The
For right now,
Padres, the Padres have been 24th the entire time.
it's still insane to me that they keep that up. It's crazy. I think they're. I really want to check that. I think their run differential in every game but session two worse than what it was in session two.
Oh man,
They lost by 9, and
yeah.
then they lost by God. Yeah, there's 2 games that are worse than the rest of their entire season combined.
I just feel bad for them because I know they have a lot of active guys too, so it's not like they're just like a dead team like the Rangers or anyone.
Yeah, I really loved umping their game. It was like super, super quick, super responsive. Everyone was super friendly. He needs a shout out because I think his body is like deteriorating because the Padres aren't winning.
Who?
Um, like every time he responds, he's just like, uh, CJ just crawls to the plate with like the 2 arms attached to his still
Oh,
like rotting torso. It's just hilarious.
that type of shit's really funny. I'm trying to think of like really funny. I mean, I in this game I didn't realize until I actually got to that point. That we were umping the Astros, so the first batter we faced was Kevin Ariana, while our umpire's name is Kevin Ariana, so that was pretty fun. I I made it so like I made it so like the umpire basically like really covets him and like he's trying to like get his attention and be like, "Hi, what's up? Hey, let's be friends." Like, "Oh, we're long lost brothers." And just like the real cat like the player Kevin Ariana just wouldn't give him the time of day and just like he waves to him as he's like walking away from the plate and like the real Ariana does not turn back. He just keeps walking. He just like
Yeah.
starts
Okay.
crying.
So here's Yancey's first plate appearance this game. Yancey, still an amorphous blob due to wormhole hole travel, slithers over to the batter's box. With hands, really a mass of tendrils, and his uniform just is just his name and a uniform number spray painted onto his back.
Damn,
It's so good.
get that man a win. Jesus Christ. What other games we got?
And I remember that was happening, and I just like I dropped onto the blob of humanity that was sitting at third base. It was, but
Let's see. At this time, I guess the NPR was still running. Hmm. I don't know what games we got left.
um, here let me pull up. So we're still Cleveland, Chicago's in the fourth. Kansas City just beat Milwaukee, so that's good.
Yeah.
Uh, Houston, St. Louis is still going on. Boston, New York. The other Boston, New York, not the normal one. Miami and New York, and San Diego, and Arizona. San Diego's inching so much closer to that win.
I don't want to see it. Don't. I mean, yeah. I guess after hearing about the amorphous blob, it probably should get at least one. Fine, I'll
Yeah.
settle for 1-15. Were you the
On,
one? Were you the one who was making a meme about that 1-15?
I really want them to beat the Dodgers last game of the year because
Oh,
like one of the power rankings is like putting the Dodgers at 7th, and like that's
yeah.
it's not. Their hitting is extremely good, and for how good their hitting is, pitching so much worse.
I mean, that's how it was last season.
Weird because their pitching isn't like crazy bad. It's like here's 2 3 ERA pitchers and 2 4 ERA. Like that's not great. That's still pretty good.
Wow, how does that work?
Oh, they have like 5 players batting 700 or above for slugging.
Yikes.
I don't know, man. They, but I just don't know what to think of that team.
Well, we got 10 minutes until an hour. I feel like we should run that out. I feel like we should get to an hour at least, especially since we.
Well, I could always soapbox on something. That's the one thing I'm really good at.
Well, that's the last thoughts. You want to go try to soapbox for 10 minutes?
Gosh, I mean, I don't know.
We don't have to.
Talks about my power rankings, but not too much.
I
Not for
mean,
10 minutes.
I mean, it still wouldn't exactly be an hour because I mean, we had like 11 minutes start time.
We gotta, Jay. What is this talk? We gotta get to our what's the YouTube term? The monetization.
Well, that's
It's
ten
gotta
minutes.
happen.
We're already past.
Oh,
Oh wait,
oh.
you think I could monetize these videos? Well, I was thinking that because I wanted to like play some shit off of Spotify for the intro. Except like I was really paranoid that like I would get copyright struck for because like music on YouTube is absolutely ridiculous when it comes to stuff like that. So I just picked like a lo-fi rap beats channel because I figured that that's pretty safe. So let's hope I don't get copyright struck.
Just ask some big. We'll ask like the Beatles if we can use their stuff.
That always works out well.
Good. Yeah, think they're pretty approachable live. So
Yeah, that's their shit, man. Yeah, if you want to go soapbox for a little bit, and we can see how much time we have left after that.
hmm. um, soapbox, but now I can't remember what I wanted to say.
Some power rankings.
Something about power rankings. I think also a lot of people that put into. I feel like I'm going to the media manager minute when we had the Graham Cracker pod.
Oh
But you
yeah.
know what? I'm just gonna do that because fuck it. I'm gonna say whatever I want. Sorry, kids under the age of 12. I'm saying bad words.
Sorry, Milwaukee Brewers.
Exactly. I I keep hearing like this is a number guessing game, and that's absolutely true. Um, but I've said it before, more to it than just guessing numbers. There is some psychology behind here, and I don't know what it is, but there is absolutely some sort of psychology that I don't know what branch of it would be. There probably isn't one because it's literally just number. Oh, that's not the one I was thinking of. Crazy to me that some people have continuously 100 at bats, turned out amazing numbers, and people just haven't. They've barely met the average, and they've been a little lower. And at a certain point, your end gets so high that you have to say it's more than just random, technically.
Yeah, I
Oh,
agree.
I did have one thing that I'm gonna pull up. Um, I think it's really fun. There's a leaderboard. I think it was by Fox Dashington. The MLN and MLR all-time leaders. And so I was looking at the MLR all-time leaders on there, and I want to give you a little quiz, Jay.
Oh no. Okay, go ahead.
Anyone in the audience can participate too if you DM me, I guess. You have the link too. You can cheat, but that's not fun. Um, top 10 all-time hitters. This is totally bragging. Graham and I are the top two. Who's after us? Do you know? Who's number three?
All time hitters. What does this mean? Like hits, like
Most
hits.
hits all time.
Number
Oh, it broke, but
three. Oh man. Well, all time it has to definitely be a season one player. Don't tell me if I'm wrong. I'm just sort of vocalizing my thoughts here. I would figure it's a season one hitter or yeah hitter just simply because I mean that's so many games you had to do. But it can't. But at the same time, it's a lot of those people are gone, so like it can't be Caleb Van Vactor because he only did well season one and then kind of fucked off. Um, maybe it is like, shit. Uh, wait, I think Bryce Harper just hit a home run. Holy shit, Bryce Harper just hit a home run.
Oh, second one? Jeez.
Yep. Holy shit. Okay. Damn, that just fucked me up. I don't want to say Emer Bach, but because you talked well about Emer Bach, and I feel like it'd be kind of lame if like it just ended up being the guy that we were discussing, and you made it seem like it was surprising. I'm gonna say Dakota. Fuck it.
Well, now this is all broken, unfortunately, but it wasn't broken a few seconds ago. And I still have the top. So Emmerbach is, I think he was seventh.
Oh,
So he's up there,
yeah.
fifth. Um, of him, one somewhat expected, but both season two players, or
Oh,
at least neither of them were in the first draft.
okay. Oh,
I think.
so at least one of them was in season one at one point.
Uh, I'm not sure actually. I don't know if either of them. I think, yeah, no, one of them was for sure. Am I kidding? Wasn't in the original draft.
So is this? Are we talking 3 and 4?
Yeah.
All
Number
right.
four,
Dude,
them were in the original draft.
Reese Hoskins just got beamed and the pitchers got ejected.
Yeah, it makes sense. You don't bean someone after giving up a home run. That's like,
Brian McCann is fuming. Oh, this is really interesting. Um, I don't know. Tell me what the 3 and 4 are we talking 3 and 4? Sorry, I was gonna
number three and four.
give me four
Number
first.
four,
Yeah,
Summers. I mean,
Barney
he had
Summers.
like 25 hits last year.
Yeah,
He was insane. Um,
it
it
can't
has
be
this
Duke.
year.
It can't be Duke for three though, because he was just a home run hitter.
Um, where's I'm trying to look at this year. How many does Barney have?
Not a lot. He's just kind of like average. I think he's like somewhere around the 200s to 250.
Yep, 7 for 30. Because he had 25 last year. It is 32. The other one, very surprising to me, was a GM right now, Ricky Tucker,
What?
32.
What the fuck? Really?
Maybe that's just like the thing is weird. Maybe it's just wrong. But
Because he wasn't an all star, was he? I don't think he was. I know there were a lot of Dodgers, but
I'm checking this out. I kind of wonder if this is like actually real because that didn't sound real to me.
yeah, I mean, that sounds very strange because if it is actually Ricky Tucker, then that's like, we don't give him a lot of credit because he's number three on hits.
Yeah. I mean, according to that list, I can't tell as accurate as I want, but
He currently
not be
has
right. I think there might be something wrong with that sheet.
he currently has 5 hits this season.
Yeah, and I'm seeing two the previous season, so I'm not sure if that's as right as I would have imagined.
Maybe that's like supposed to
I
be
kind of just
MLN.
took that.
Is he doing well in MLN?
I have no idea. I can't. Well, I could go and look that up. I don't know where I'd find it though.
No, fuck it.
On a team, I'm looking season one because the three options have combined and then either league, and don't see him on any of these. So I think they might have just taken plate appearances.
Yeah, maybe.
Kind of odd. Yeah, I don't see him up there. So
I mean, technically, he has a good batting average this year, but
yeah, never
small
mind on
sample
that.
size.
Everyone listening, 5 minutes ago when I told you something, it was incorrect. Um,
He had a really fun factoid that ended up not
that
really
was
being a factoid. I was like,
but I'm withdrawing that fact.
I was like,
Wrong.
I was gonna use that as sort of like a practice because I know Stride wants to get me on his on sort of like a final Who Wants to Be a MLR Millionaire. show, so that could have been like a practice for me. But it probably would have been
Yeah,
bad information for that.
yeah. Good thing I did not that. I I don't know where I got that info, but I want to set that up too. But
All right.
yeah, that that was dumb. Um,
All right. Well, we've just hit over an hour mark, and I am fucking starving. So I'm
yeah.
probably gonna end this right here. Thank everybody for listening, though. Everybody either who's watching live or will be watching this when it goes up on the subreddit. Yeah, it's been fun with Mylo. Hopefully, we can get him on with Kev. We can have sort of a three-person thing going on here, and hopefully, I
Up
can
for
get
a menage a trois. So
hopefully fucking
you know
Kev can
me.
answer me because I messaged him about this at like 1 p.m. He hasn't been on today, so I hope he's doing good and he can get back to me on that one. But yeah, thank you for listening, everybody, and I'll catch you later.